everybody doing today? Today I want to bring you on a little tour of Cumberland Island in Georgia. I don't know if you can see, still away back there behind me, waiting patiently for us, and we dinghied over. The only way to get to Cumberland Island is by boat. So you either have to ferry from St. Mary's, and I like how that rhymed. You can ferry from St. Mary's, or you can anchor out like we did and use the free dinghy dock. It is a national park, so there is going to be a fee to enter, but it is a beautiful treasure of an island. We've got wild horses here and ruins and mansions, and there's even a little tiny church, the first Black Baptist church ever built, little tiny one that JFK Jr. was married in. So a beautiful island to see. We're not going to see all of it today. We're not going to have time, but let me show you the parts that we do get to see. Hope you enjoy. And as you can see, there is some of the feral horse droppings. They've obviously been by here. But one thing that this island has a lot of is the Spanish moss hanging from the trees. And although you might be tempted to take some home to put around your plants, you should be aware that there can be ticks and mites and other little critters living in that moss. So you're better off to let it be. So this is the ruins on the property called Dungeness, named after a place in England. And it was built in 1884 by Thomas Carnegie. After it was completed, it had 59 rooms. Now, he died a couple years after it was built, and his wife continued to add to it until it became a whopping 35,000 square feet. Now, his wife Lucy built on the property 3 other mansions for their children. Grayfield, which is a hotel, and then Plum Orchard, where luckily she built for the daughter and took a lot of the furnishings out for Plum Orchard before the fire. So that is now a museum, and luckily some of those got restored. And sadly, in the 1950s, it was 1959, they think arson. So this is the ruins after that great fire that you can now explore. So now the island does have wild horses and armadillos, but they do not have anything to eat. So it's advised to bring your own snack. There are a couple bathrooms and a couple watering stations, but for food, you're pretty much on your own. Now the Greystone is a hotel, but it does start at $925 a night. So bring your checkbook if you want to stay there or get married there. And remember, if you pack it in, pack it out. So standing here looking at Dungeness, we move around this way. This is what was the informal gardens. Now, Dungeness was self-sustaining, so she had to grow all of her own fruits and vegetables, but the garden was also designed that you could take a stroll in it after dinner for a nice cool breeze. And I imagine there were a lot of oyster dinners eaten here. this ruin here was built in 1900. It was the recreation house. This circle here was the gun room. That circle there was a doctor's office. And then here was the billiard room. And they actually had a heated pool. They also had a squash court and an apartment. Now the beautiful trees with the moss, that is the live oak tree. And some of the live oak trees here on the island are over 300 years old. The legend of the armadillo is true. There's an armadillo. Now the rumor is they fell off a circus train or something and floated over here with the tide, because apparently they can expand their chest and that helps them to float. So there is an armadillo. On Cumberland Island. So here in this building is the laundry room. And there's actually a wooden sink. And I would imagine there was a lot of people doing laundry at all of those different sinks. And then they would have used this to wring the clothes out or iron them. You tell me if you know. I'm not really sure that I know. And I kind of feel like up there's another big water heater. And Cumberland Island also has 18 miles of unobstructed white sand beaches. So if you don't mind the hike, it's a great place to find your own little private beach. We're finding, oh, that was pretty. This is another one I found. Aren't they pretty? So we're back. I think we hiked like 3 hours today. It was so beautiful over there. And I don't even think we saw half of that island. There's so much to see and do. You can camp there if you like to camp. You can take your bike on the ferry if you want to bike around. So such a beautiful place to see. And look at these beautiful shells that I found today. I think that's one of my favorites. Aren't they cute? So I hope you enjoyed the tour today. Again, you have to come from St. Mary's by ferry is the only way to get there from land. And St. Mary's is the oldest city in Georgia, and it's the second oldest city continuously inhabited in the United States. Now, so you have to take the ferry from St. Mary's. That's such a great thing. The ferry from St. Mary's. Or if you're cruising up the ICW, just pull on in here and take your dinghy over to see this gorgeous place called Cumberland Island in Georgia. Thanks for being here today. I hope that you loved it. And earlier there was some horses on the shore. So there's between 130 and 150 horses over there. And we saw some on the shore when we got back, and we only saw 2. And I didn't get any video of them, but I did get a picture. So I'll end with that picture. Thanks, everybody. See you later.